Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're ushering in a much-needed weekend with a Camel Classic as Sebastian playing as the Saracens in red gets ready to take on Hera playing as the Gurjaras in blue. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. The Saracens, a civilization whose strong market can be used to get an early to mid-game advantage over their opponents. To start with, their markets, the actual structure itself only costs 75 wood, and their commodity trading fee is fixed at 5% right from the very beginning of the game, which is significantly lower than the 30% that other civilizations have to pay early on. Now, using this economic market advantage, the Saracens can field quite a hard-hitting tanky army. Their foot archers come with an attack bonus against buildings, which makes their Feudal Age aggression a little bit scarier than normal. Their camels come with 25% more HP. Their trebs, mangonels, and onagers can all be upgraded to increase their attack, and their unique unit, the Mameluke, is a ranged melee camel unit that comes with a pretty darn big attack bonus against cavalry. Now, if it sometimes happens in this game, you find your units are a little bit injured after a battle, or maybe they're being injured by the opponent while they're in the middle of a battle, well, in that case, you can rely on the Saracen Monk. This unit can be upgraded to heal automatically and passively multiple units nearby at the exact same time. The Bamaristan upgrade, in my opinion, one of the most underused technologies, unique techs in this game. Within a 5-tile radius, both left, right, up, and down, every single unit you have heals at 75 HP per minute, which is a very fast healing rate. Now let's take a look at Hera's side of the map, where he might want to do a little bit of damage to those Saracen units. If you're wondering why the hell that turkey just disappeared into the mill, well, wait a little bit and you'll find out. The Gurjaras, a civilization that focuses on man's other four-legged best friends, horses, camels, and elephants. Their camels and elephants are created faster. All of their mounted units deal progressively more bonus damage as the game goes on. 20, 30, 40% more bonus damage in Imperial if we're lucky enough for the game to go that long. Their Cameline units and their Elephant Archers can be upgraded to make them much harder to kill with a big +4 melee armor boost. Think Teutonic Ironclad, but not for siege, for elephants and, Elephant Archers and Camel units. And their first unique unit, the Shrevamsha Rider, is an incredibly fast cavalry unit that can actually dodge enemy projectiles. Here we go, wait for it. Boop, bloop, and there they go into the mill. Now, to support their mounted units against pesky infantry units with long shafty sticks that might want to dehorse them, decamel them, basically kill them, the Gurjaras can rely on a second unique unit to protect their mounted units, the Chakram Thrower. This is an infantry unit with a ranged melee attack who throws discs like Xena Warrior Princess. And just like her discs, the ones thrown by the Chakrams do multiple, or rather can hit multiple targets at once. And although the damage output is pretty low, I believe the Elite is a 4 attack, the base model is a 3, so a fairly small attack. The pass-through damage to all other units is 100%, and they do come with an attack bonus against the infantry. Now, to help the Gurjaras build up their military-industrial complex, you'll have noticed they start with 2 free bushes underneath their town center. They can garrison their livestock inside the mill, where Hera has already shoved all 8 of his duck geese. And FYI, take a look at the top right of your screen: 98 food, 99 food, 100 food, 101. This is like a food savings account where every second or so your food count goes up and up as long as you have units, my goodness, as long as you have herdables inserted into your mill. Now, speaking of food and mills and deliciousness, the Gurjaras can actually upgrade their entire military-industrial complex so that every single Gurjara military unit that costs food or has food as part of its cost composition, that food cost is reduced by 25%, which makes, I believe, their Hussars the cheapest in the game, if I'm not mistaken. And as we all know, Hera plus Hussars equals good time. Hera plus Hussars with that kind of feature means I'm expecting to see an attack coming from about 1 billion different locations from our Gurjara in blue. Although, like I said, also the possibility of a fun camel versus camel scenario here. We've seen the Saracen camel with its ridiculous 25% more HP take on Hindustani camels. We've seen it take on other weaker, or let's say non-special camels. But let's see it take on the absolute beast of a Gurjara camel, because remember, camel units do actually do bonus damage against one another. I mean, this is a camel scout, so it's going to have very small, tiny little bonuses, camel +2, but those bonuses grow exponentially. I believe it jumps up to a +5, and then you add the 20, 30, 40%, and then you go into heavy camels. And then on top of that, you have the Frontier Guards upgrade that then gives those camels 4 melee armor against basically your opponent's camels. That being said, the Saracen camel with 170 freaking HP is no slouch camel on its own right. In any event, ooh, a fortuitous time to pivot the camera here, as it is Hera who gets trapped in a viper-like wall in, but ooh, okay, does manage to bust out. That was very fancy. Oh, but he's not going to survive, is he? No, Sebastian gets the first kill with a fancy little maneuver that no doubt is going to piss the hell out of our Gurjara, who's, ooh, wait a second, ooh, pissed off or not, he might lose a villager here. Both players vying desperately for the high ground. Hera delaying until the spearman can come. The spearman does. Where the hell was that spearman come from? Like a magic act, the spearman just appeared at the exact perfect time to save that villager. And well, there we go. First blood drawn. I haven't even removed the fog of war, as our Saracen is already moving out with those archers that come again with that +3 attack bonus against buildings. Now, realistically, because they do 1 damage to a building, now they do 3. It is essentially a +2 change, even though it does say +3. So it's not like they get 3 more attack than they did before that, I guess a few patches ago when they changed them. But it doesn't really matter. Like I said, this feature of the Saracens makes them so deadly in Feudal Age. If you've got palisade walls up, then Hera, to be fair, doesn't have any walls up, except here to the north where he's starting to build walls. That armor doesn't matter anymore, because now there's a +3 attack bonus against them. And we'll see. Let's, speaking of seeing, let's remove the fog of war. We got our center relic as always. We've got a couple of lakes to the bottom, a lake to the center of the map. Attack path between the 2 bases. Pretty hilly, pretty forested. So we'll see whether or not these kind of choke points get used by any particular player or not. And as we saw, it is Sebastian who's pressing into here with a scout that is, oh, he is pulling Hera completely out of position, but Hera realizes it, pivots back with his archers and gets his first kill, but loses an archer as well. Okay, some action here behind these structures, which is always not too much fun to see, because can't really see very much. Kill count is all of a sudden 4 to 4, 5 to 4, possibly 6 to 4 if this skirmisher doesn't get the hell out of here. And Sebastian's entire attack gone in the literal actual blink of an eye. Blink and you'll have missed what the hell happened behind that blacksmith. Even with the outlines, man, sometimes it's confusing to see what the heck is actually going on. Sebastian is buying food. Thank you to that Saracen market bonus. Even though they nerfed the market feature in the beginning of the game now for everybody, the Saracen's still a pretty powerful feature. I mean, when you have to pay 5%, just think about your own life. You know, you go, you pay with a Visa for something. Every vendor always adds the Visa charge. Imagine paying 5% and the guy next to you is paying 30%. You must feel real good about yourself. Now you feel real good. You're going to shove in some skirmishers into your opponent's base. That kind of level good. Villager count identical. TC idle time. Hera whopping 15 whole seconds. But he's getting, you know, he's not killing these skirmishers, but he's picking off their HP, which is not bad at all, because Hera's archers, generally archers don't do very well against skirmishers because of their high pierce armor, but if you can pick off enough of their HP, oh, he's pulling his turkeys out. Gobble, gobble. It's Thanksgiving came early in the Gurjara household, and he is picking them out one at a time. It looks like that is the last turkey. Hera says, you know what? I don't need the incremental up a unit. This isn't a game of craps. I need to eat. I need to grow my economy. I'm being pressed into, and I need to have that food as he clicks up to the castle age, basically about, what is that, 25 or so seconds behind his opponent. Both players, the exact same TC idle time, the exact same almost villager count, the exact same almost army composition. And now he's busted into here as well. The palisade has gone down. Building +3. I mean, tell me the Saracen Feudal Age aggression isn't scary with that attack bonus against buildings. It's like the Hindustanis with their light cav and their camel attack bonus against buildings. Man, can their scouts bust into a base and then start causing trouble. By the way, I haven't even looked at the, speaking of bases, I haven't even looked at the bases. Hera's primary gold to the back, primary stone to the front. Extra gold to the front as well, as is his third gold. Yuck. 3 out of the 5 resources very exposed. How much has Sebastian seen? He's seen all 3. Sour. There's an extra patch of stone up top here. To be fair, castles and chakrams, not exactly something I'm expecting to see this game. And this is where the picked off HP comes in very handy, because these skirmishers are weak. And while the archers do the dance of the avoidance, trying to avoid their javelins, the scout is having an absolute field day here. How many kills on that scout? Oh, only 2. Okay, well, all right. He did the job of the town center as well, softening up the HP. So Hera's base, in terms of resource location, absolutely atrocious. 3 out of the 5 in the forward position, basically gold to the back. And to be fair, a lot of wood to the back. We'll see what our Gurjara does with all that wood. Our Saracen, primary stone to the top, gold also secure. Also an ugly base with 1, 2, 3 of the resource patches in the forward position. Extra gold is to the back. He has seen it. Hera has not. So that might be a good place to mine some gold. I like this kind of arrow shaft, arrow spearhead style base that Sebastian created for himself around the berry bushes here. Now both players are in Castle Age. One player has upgraded his cavalry units, his archers into crossbowmen. There is a Shrivam Strider. The base model avoids 7 arrows. The elite avoids 7. Sorry, did I say 7? The base model avoids 5, and the elite avoids 7. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Sometimes the brain to mouth connection doesn't exactly pan out, as Hera all of a sudden kills 4 villagers. Ouch. Okay, well, where the villager count was pretty much identical, now there is a 5 villager difference. Ballistics for our Saracen as well. Says, you know what? You can dodge 5 arrows. I'll give you that. But the 6th arrow, I want it to hit, and I want it to hit hard. And Hera's not done. He's going back for more. Does get another villager, but loses the Shravamsha. Good move there from our red Saracen to pick off that one Shravamsha rider, as opposed to the scout. Because now the scout is easy to kill. There we go. He does. But 5 villager kills to 0. 18 total kills to 11. Elite skirmisher for Hera, as well as an army of crossbowmen moves out. How many skirmishers does he have at home? Just the 4. And let's see what he can do, how he can defend with these 4 against the incoming crossbowmen who have entered in stage left. Immediately, before a single bolt is fired, one of them already dies. But no, Hera came back a little early with his archers, unless these are sacrificial archers. And I suspect Sebastian is just going to be picking these archers off. Ouch. I mean, that was just a throw of a whole bunch of units. Not that Gurjara really seemed like he was going to double down on archer units, but I don't know. Just throwing away units for no reason, I don't know, doesn't sit well with me. Although, fantastic move, by the way, out of Sebastian to pick them off using the high ground and the crossbow, the stronger unit. Now the dance continues as a... Where are these villagers? 2 villagers. Okay, so he's in no rush to get the siege workshop up. Skirmishers have gotten the hell out of here. Looks like the first villager kill for our red Saracen as well. Okay, never mind. Siege workshop gets relocated a bit further back. Scout with no kills continues to explore the nether regions of Hera's rear end. Ooh, okay, and now Hera pushes out, discovers. Will he be able to stop it? He does not. Stop it. You know, he's got to be careful. He knows something's going to be training in here immediately, or at least he should suspect that something is being trained out of here immediately. Looks like both players adding town centers. So they're both going ranged units which are pretty wood intensive compared to your average food gold units. And both are spending a good amount of wood on their town centers. These are not two civilizations that have any kind of wood discounts or any kind of discounts. Malian or Britain, such style discounts, I should say. Hera with his own forward siege workshop is going to pump out his own mangonel. Now, we have seen Hera in the past kill mangonels with skirmishers. He is just that good at the micro. Let's see what actually happens here because... ouch. Ouch. Okay, I feel like Hera just killed his own units there, no? Yeah, he killed 2 of his own skirmishers. And then the mangonel dies. All right, well, Hera loses a mangonel, a whole bunch of skirmishers, which is not, I mean, they're trash units. Did manage to get a bunch of crossbowmen. Good attack round there. Somehow Sebastian's just keeping his mangonels alive. I don't know how this one didn't die. By all rights, Hera's mangonel did, I think, hit it directly, or maybe just a little bit off. Go after the siege workshop. You gotta go after this building. Otherwise, your opponent's gonna pop out mangonels at the worst possible time. And here comes Shravanshas. They will dip, duck, dive, and dodge everything, including that mangonel shot. And then they will close. Not a great attack round there. Okay, well, you can see the white bar underneath the Shravamsha is filling up slowly. Sebastian proving himself the superior ballsmith so far, as his rocky balls do more damage than Hera's. But he has abandoned his forward position. Why did he abandon this? His army is bigger. His army is better. His micro is proven to be superior. Why is he abandoning this? Sometimes pro players do this. Either they're doing something back home, which it looks like he's expanding economically with a 30C, just as Hera has added a 30C. But did it really warrant a complete retreat to the point where you're not going to lose this building? I don't know. I'm not too sure that retreating is was the correct. But let's see how it all works out. The past is the past. And just like gambling, what happened in the past has no real indication on what's going to happen in the future. And there you go. All of a sudden, Hera is the one who's getting the juicier shots with the mangonels, even though he's on the low ground. 1 for 2 is a pretty darn good ratio when you're losing and exchanging and trading out heavy, expensive units. And now all of a sudden, Hera has the better army and the better position on this hill. And he's adding more Shravamshas. Look how freaking fast they are. Although no husbandry. No husbandry. They're not as fast as they should be. 1.6 is the base speed. It should be 1.76 by all rights. Wild animal strikes the villager. A big thank you to Wojciech, I think, is the person who posted the comment. The last video I had, I was talking about how I wasn't 100% sure about the attack radius of the wild animals on this map, and it depends on the difficulty setting. I think the easiest setting, their line of sight for a wild animal is 4 tiles, and then it goes up to 6, and then with the second easiest setting, and then basically every other game, it's all just 12. Unless it's a bear. For some reason, bears, their line of sight is a 10. Don't ask me why. I don't get it. Why do Celts steal sheep? I don't know. Why do Bulgarians pay less food for their siege? I don't know. For their siege upgrades. Some things in Age of Empires are just... you know, take it on faith. Shravamshas are out there going to dodge everything but the Saracen camel. Doesn't need bloodlines, comes with 25 extra HP. So again, thank you so much for that poster, for pointing me in the right direction. Apparently the wild animals, yeah, it depends on the game settings. And in the vast majority of games, it is a 12 line of sight. Ooh, I also didn't realize another cool fact about wild animals. Not something you probably thought you would hear on a Friday evening or afternoon whenever you're watching this game. By the way, we're transitioning into camels. Just like that, all of a sudden the siege archer play is done. Hera is sitting at 20 more villagers than his opponent, with a lot more TC idle time, about 40% more idle time. But apparently the only two siege units that are attacked by wild animals, this guy, is the ballista elephant and the Tatar flaming camel. Every other siege unit is pretty safe. Not too sure why. In theory, the siege unit should have an invisible human being next to it, right? I mean, it's not going to fire on its own. This is not some kind of AI bot that exists in medieval Arabia. In any event, enough nonsense. Let's take a look at what the players are doing. More and more stables for our Gurjara castles going up to the south. Shravamshas with their huge 8 attack are taking down a house. But eventually, after long enough, they will succeed. More houses to the back, more houses to the front. A 4th town center for our Saracens. So he's going to start catching up in villager count. He's now down 23 villagers. Hera's skirmishers somehow have managed to survive the mangonel play. Both players basically destroying each other's siege counts. Hera is the last one with a mangonel. And now we're going, pardon me, mounted upgrades. Okay. I think I saw husbandry, or rather bloodlines. Husbandry in 17 seconds. Well, let's see it. Camel versus camel. Although we are in the castle age, which means that we're not going to get to see frontier guards out of our Gurjara, who guns down another pair of villagers. By the way, both players, speaking of gunning down villagers, both players have killed 11 villagers of their opponents. And camels, as cool as they are, as fast as they are, do not dodge arrows like the Shravamshas, who have not closed in on the crossbowmen. As the camels move forward, they want to go after the mangonel. The monk intercedes. They think better of it. And now they're going after what? The Shravamshas? Monks are out from both players. Hera's gathered 2 relics to 1. So what will prevail? Yesterday, we saw the Burgundian Cavalier and the Persian Camel in Castle Age. Now we've got this blue camel that does not 5 but 7 damage. Bonus damage against other camels. Against this camel rider that does... Pardon me. Wait a second. I think that's a converted camel rider. Yeah, I think I accidentally clicked on a converted camel rider. My bad. There we go. Camel plus 5. Of course, out of the 10 camels, yours truly clicked on the one that was converted. And so the one that maintains its extra 30% bonus damage, and in 48 seconds, that 30% is going to be 40% extra bonus damage. So I'm very curious. Both players are continuing to double down. I love these kinds of thought experiments, these kind of Mike's Empires. If you're not familiar with that channel, definitely check it out if you want to see what it takes to take down 100 Teutonic Knights. And that's not stable knights. That is their unique unit, the Teutonic Knights. Definitely check out Mike's Empires channel. But I am very curious in these kinds of thought experiments of a Saracen heavy camel versus a Gurjara heavy camel. So we are going to get to see some camel versus camel. Now let's take a look at infrastructure. We've got 9 stables to 7 stables. Our Saracens raiding to the back. This is a good move from him. He's going to lose these camels, to be fair, but number 1, he's causing a disruption in food income, which is very good. Number 2, he's keeping Hera on Hera's side of the map when Hera's an Imperial, which is also good. Now, to be fair, there's a lot of red dead bodies here. Okay, I mean, that extra 40% bonus, which, to be fair, doesn't really change from Castle to Imperial, right? It's still just a 7, because 30% of 5 is 6.5, and then it gets rounded up anyway to 7. So it's going to stay at 7, but I really want to see Frontier Guards. Oh, he got Kshatriyas, of course. Okay. So the food income is going to be important, but not as important as it was. Now I know I'm going to get some flack for saying it's not as important. It went from being like 100% important to like 90% important. Just because the camel now costs 25% less food. And Hera is hounding his opponent, moving forward. Are there any villagers that are coming with this push? Nope. This is just a primarily... Yeah, there are now. Oh my god. So cocky that he can take this position. So cocky that he can take this position. Okay. Let's see it. Our Saracen is an Imperial. He's getting heavy Camel Rider, so it's going to have 170 HP. This heavy Camel Rider. +5 attack bonus is still a +5 attack bonus versus a +7. So what will... And there's Kshatriyas as well. 4 melee armor. Oh my god, 6 melee armor on a camel. That is just gross. And by the way, that's not even fully upgraded yet. Oh, that's about to jump to 7. Infrastructure is being taken down. These are not Hindustani camels that do bonus damage to buildings, though, so they're going to take a while. Man, does it take a while for camels to destroy anything. Our Saracen needs to get his upgrades in order. Where is his blacksmith? Tell me it hasn't been destroyed. Yeah, there it is. Hera's brought another mangonel. He's bombarding the TZ, so the Gurjara attack is in full swing. More camels, 32 versus 39. Upgrades going to Hera. Now look at the armor on this unit. This is just ridiculous. 7 melee armor. That basically negates the whole attack of the heavy camel rider. Oh my god, that negates the whole attack. But let's see it. I mean, I suspect, even with the 25 extra HP, that the Saracen camel is not going to take the better of the trades here. I think Sebastian needs a lot more camels, and to mass a lot more camels against a civilization that pays 25% less food for their camels is a daunting task, especially since your base is now completely bombarded. You got camel on camel violence to the left. We've got mangonels being attacked to the right. The camel, is he gonna reach them? Is he gonna reach them? He reaches them, but unable to seal the deal. And the attack continues. So not exactly the 1v1 massive army clash that I really wanted to see of, let's say, 40 camels versus 40 camels, but never say never. Here we go. Now it kind of looks like we're gonna get to see that. Sebastian picking off a random blue villager in the middle of nowhere, and here we go. The yin yang. There's a little bit of blue and red. There's a little bit of red and blue. Sebastian does have 3 monks here. Hera doesn't have a single monk in this position. Well, Sebastian had 3 monks. And wow. Okay, I mean, look at that. Look at that. The Gurjara monk. I mean, let's just very quickly do. You know how we do in Cast of Empires. Where? Oh, I can't even click. This red camel is dead? Yeah, there's got to be one live red camel somewhere here, right? Okay, there we go. So look, first of all, look at the HP difference. Fantastic. Yeah, who doesn't love this kind of 30 HP difference for welcome to the Saracens. So right now, you know what, let's do the world as is and not the world as we want it to be, and work with the upgrades that we have right now. So Sebastian's camel attacks on an 8. 7 of that gets nullified. That's so ridiculous. They do 1 damage, literally 1 damage, +5, or pardon me, +9 now because they're heavies, +9 bonus damage. So they do 10 damage. 14 strikes needed to kill one of Hera's camels. Hera, on the other hand, is at a 9 attack, minus the 2 melee armor is 7. Plus, remember, it's not 9, it's 13. So his camels do 20 damage, double the damage. What's 170 divided by 20? To be fair, that is still 9 attacks. So it's not, even though the damage is twice, because of the extra HP, you still do need, right? Because if you attack 8 times, it only removes 160. I got that right? 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 plus 13 is 20. Wow, so really only just one extra attack or one less attack required by Hera. I'm a little bit shocked that it's that close with the extra melee armor and the extra bonus damage. There you go. Any other camel, if this was 140 HP, for example, it would be 7 attacks and not 9. But because of that extra HP that the Saracen camel has, it forces Hera's camels to raise their scimitars 2 more times in order to kill their opponent. And there you go. That's just the feat. And to be fair, in the question of which one is actually better, remember that the Saracen feature is free. This Frontier Guards, it is not a free upgrade, and it is not a cheap upgrade. It's 800 food, 700 gold you have to pay for this privilege. Wow. Well, I wanted to usher in the weekend with a camel clash, and after a bit of a ranged clash and a mangonel war, which, to be fair, again, I don't know why Sebastian abandoned this position earlier on. Maybe he just wanted to focus on it back at home. When you're microing against the current best player in the world, you never know when his units will appear out on the map. And so better for you to just shove your units backwards as you're doing something at home. But was he doing something at home? I don't know. The bottom line is I think he could have taken that center area and he could have kept pressing. If maybe he should have brought more than 2 villagers. That could have been the case. Hera, on the other hand, so supremely confident in his ability to press the center that he's brought in the villagers. The villagers, and now they're even mining the tertiary gold of their opponent. And wow, what an epic last clash here. Epic game. And our Saracen had more camels, about 20 more camels. More ranged. Look at that. No, a bit of an interesting symmetry here in the army compositions, but there is no symmetry in the APM. 20 minutes in, Hera with his usual 2 to 300, 160. Okay, a few minutes earlier than that. Economy. Wow. That is more than 10% bigger economy. Relics 2 apiece, it looks like. But Hera just getting a lot more. But the gold going to our Saracen. Interesting. Saracens are a very expensive civilization if you want to get them up to their max strength. Although, to be fair, Sebastian didn't really go the route of the Mameluke and the siege and the monk play. Camels are not super duper expensive. 10 conversions to 3, 12 raisings to 4, going the other way. And what's the final kill count? 178 to 124. Villager count basically identical. And holy moly, look at their villager counts. 152 to 148. Why did Sebastian GG? Well, he lost his castle, but again, not like he was really training anything out of here. Now, did he have Bamaristan? This is what really irks me. I'm going to rewind and show you why it pisses me off. Because as this battle begins, if Sebastian had Bamaristan, well, let's wait for this conversion to get finished. If Sebastian had Bamaristan, 2 of these, well, to be fair, 3 of these monks could be focused on healing. Why can't I click this monk? Is he dead already? Is he already dead? Oh, wow. Or maybe I just can't click on him. It says he's got 3 monks. Anyway, doesn't matter. 2, 3, who cares? With Bamaristan, these 2 monks could be healing actively. At the same time, every single one of these camel riders is being healed at 75 HP per minute. That is more than 1 HP per in-game second. So they already have more HP than their enemy. And imagine being healed. This is why I don't get it. It's not an expensive upgrade. Look at that. 200 gold. It's not expensive at all. I don't understand. It's like when pro players don't get murder holes. I don't understand it. Especially when you're engaged in melee wars, like this. But Bamaristan here could have potentially changed the outcome of the battle. It looks pretty darn even. 19 camels to 22, but remember, the 19 camels have a lot more HP. Actually, no, never mind. They're actually down HP at this point of the battle. Okay, well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. The point is, all of these camels, 5 tiles this way, 5 tiles this way, 5 tiles, 5 tiles, could be healed passively, while these 2 or 3 monks, whatever the hell is going on with this untouchable, this Elliot Ness monk over here, they can actively heal while also passively healing It is a ridiculously powerful upgrade, and unfortunately, Sebastian doesn't have it. And with the castle falling here, will not have it. Although I guess he has a castle down south. But ultimately, why did he GG? His resources don't look terrible. I thought he had a lot more gold when I ended the game last. Okay, maybe it's a lack of gold. He still has gold mining here, but positionally, he's kind of up Schitt's Creek. Who's kidding who? Hera's here in the center. He's already got Trebs out. He still, by the way, has those 2 mangonels. Where the heck are they? There they are. And so, yeah, Sebastian out of how many stables? Okay, down from 7 to 5 Hera, up to 9 stables. So double the military-industrial complex, map control. Now it's a little bit easier, and he's going to lose these villagers. A little bit easier to see why he tapped out. But man, would Bamaristan have made a difference here, I think. I absolutely think. Camels don't attack very fast. It's just a 2-second attack delay. So in between attacks, the Saracen camel could be healing up at 2 extra HP. And what do we say they needed? 9 attacks? So that's 18 seconds. 18 seconds would be an extra 20 or so HP, which means an extra attack needed. Oh my goodness. But Maristan could have completely changed the nature of this battle. But there you go. My rant is complete. I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. It looks like, yeah, Sebastian just realizing positionally he's completely screwed. He's lost his entire army. More importantly, he's lost his entire army. Who's kidding who? He's got 2 camels left in the front. He's got a few camels in the back. One of them is basically half health. And there's a 6th camel somewhere out on the map. Relics, he didn't get the one that's really close to him, which is interesting, but doesn't really matter. Bamaristan, Bamaristan, Bamaristan. Please get Bamaristan. And with that lack of Bamaristan, Hera is just able to overwhelm and overthrow the Saracen camel army. Takes the W with a fantastic, fun game, back and forth. Very what's a word I'm looking for? Very interesting mirror builds throughout this entire game. First with the siege ranged, crossbow for one, skirmishers for the other. Then the introduction of the Shravamsha riders basically forced Sebastian into going camels. Although, again, I really did suspect we were going to see Hussars, because, again, 25% cheaper Hussars versus Saracen Hussars, which are pretty damn perfect. The Saracen cavalry line is pristine, except their lack of Cavalier and Paladin, whereas the Gurjaras do lack the Blast Furnace upgrade, which, some civs are meant to attack super duper hard, like the Aztecs, for example, and some civs are meant to take a punch to the face for as long as possible, like the Rocky Balboa civs, like the Inca and the Eagle Warrior, versus the Aztec one that's designed to like one punch man you to death. The Gurjaras are designed, I think, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, because they're pretty much a counter civilization. But when it comes to their melee, especially their camels with the extra armor, they're designed to last a little bit longer. This 9 attack is as good as it gets for them in terms of blacksmith upgrades. But in any event, man, what a fun camel versus camel. And I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, including these 2 players. But in this particular matchup, it is Hera who takes the W with the superior camel. But GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.